Hello guys and welcome back. This is the one you've all been waiting for. This is the one I've been waiting for. This is what I bought this truck and trailer for. To be honest, the 95 is getting loaded onto the 2021 Diamond C FMAX trailer, 40K rated, 35 foot. And it's getting towed by the 2021 F450 Platinum with the 6.7 power stroke. So, to say this truck is completed to be hauling, it is not. Performance-wise, it is not. I'm definitely putting an intake on this. I'll definitely buy the S&B intake if Banks doesn't have one ready very soon, or if SPE doesn't have one ready. I'd love to put an SPE one on here, but they're still working on things. The hot side, cold side, SPE, I'm waiting on those. So under the hood, it's not emissions on, guys. It's not the ultimate tow rig. I'm talking, you know, emissions compliant here. It does have the Banks pedal monster, which doesn't give you any extra power, but it does work with your cruise control. And when you're hauling heavy loads, it just makes the load feel so much lighter because you're barely pushing on the accelerator and it just goes. But we've got a long drive today too, actually. I'm picking this up on these windy, twisty, turny roads here outside of Bridgewater, and we're going all the way to Chesapeake. So it's gonna be a pretty decent run. We're talking like an hour and 45 minutes, and we've got some big pulls. The one is the Ingram Port Hill, of course. You guys have seen that in videos a bunch. We're gonna be hitting that hill today. So I gotta go get this thing loaded on the trailer, chained down, ready to go. I'll show you the load. If you're checking in for the first time, it is my Sandy SY95. It's like a 21,000 pound machine, roughly. So yeah, it's got some heft to it. The trailer is like 85, so with the extra bigger size bucket and the chains and all that, we're definitely at 30,000 pounds. And I would dare to say that that machine is actually more than 21,000, but according to the sticker, it's like 20,800 pounds or something like that. 20,300 pounds or something, I think, even. Anyway, let's do it. All right, guys, so here we are, the most recent one that we finished with 140 foot driveway. We got type 2 on the driveway right now. Another situation where a guy bought a trailer, and he's hooking the trailer up first, and then he's gonna come in with his septic and well and build a house here later on. But he did quite a bit of work in here. He's putting a 20-foot sea can right here. We didn't bother cleaning this stuff up too much because once he gets his sea can in place, and he still needs to we still need to run the power and stuff, and it's all cliff here. We'll have to break it, so it's gonna be lots of fun. We just spread these chips out for now and cleaned up a lot of deadfall in here. It was all twisted and tangled up, so we'll use this stuff later on once he gets everything geared up that way. Might need to build this up a little more here. I'll bring the 4-ton over to clean that stuff up and hopefully get the breaker on. But here she is, ready to go. The big beast. The big beast. She's a hefty one. She's hefty. She got I mean, I hauled this machine before with my 450, so I know it can certainly do it. There's no issues there. All right, well, we're loaded. I got 80 pounds in the airbags. If you guys can see them, I don't know if you can see them at all. They're not squished by any means. Now, this is the first time with this machine on this trailer, so again, you know, it's a learning game. I'll show you where I got it positioned, but it might not be where I position it in the future. Who knows? But I got my boom going forward. I have loads of room on my deck. Truck sitting nice. Brand new chains, and they're long, crossed over, bungeed, and there's where she's sitting. Right over the axles. boom going forward gives me a little more tongue weight. But I could probably come back a little bit. I'll see how the truck feels and how it rides, but I probably could come back a little bit. You can see our deck is still cambered, whatever the heck it's called. But anyway, she's a hefty machine. She looks a lot bigger on there compared to the 080, that's for sure. But we'll see. I've hauled it a few times with my Sure Track and it felt great. Now we'll see how she does with this thing. Turn my brakes up. I'm gonna go up to 6 for now and see how that feels. The exhaust brake, engine brake is on. Can't call it an exhaust brake. And there goes John, the old Chev, the chipper. And tow haul course. And we are off. All right, well, so far it's feeling pretty good. You gotta tinker around with this trailer. I know Sam, V-Belt and Son, he had a hard time figuring out exactly where to put the load on the trailer, because you get this little tugging. It's not bouncy and it doesn't feel like it's like lifting the trailer off the ball. It feels like a tug. It feels like something is behind me. You know, if you didn't hook up to your bumper pole trailer properly and it was just using its chains or something, like you get a little tug. But I can tell you one thing, man, these brakes are unbelievable. I got it set on setting level 6 right now, and do they ever grab? Like, wow. I can't even get over it. Like, I cannot get over how good these brakes are. But we'll get it on the highway, see how this thing feels. We got some serious hills, like I said, so it's gonna be a heck of a test for the truck. They rate these trucks high. Hopefully they wouldn't do it if it couldn't handle it. Alright, so right off the get-go here, we've got a serious climb from a dead stop. I'm not gonna hammer on it. You can see there's still room left on the turbo. I'm just got my foot just sitting on the throttle and away she goes. 4th gear, pulling the grade.
Proceed to the right.
Now she's speeding up. Nice smooth shift in the 5th. Man, this thing, I'm telling you guys.
Proceed to the right.
We're getting higher and higher. Still in 5th gear. I could go faster if I wanted to. Okay, we're at the top. Now we got a twisty, turny road here to get onto the highway. You could go through town, but they don't really like you going through town. They don't really like you going through town with excavators and, you know, big trailers and stuff like that if you don't need to. If you're not working in town, they tell you to try to avoid that. So I'll take the long way around, a long, twisty, turny way around. All right, so here we are, just cruising on the highway. 66 miles per hour roughly. 10th gear, 1900 RPM, and it has pulling power in 10th gear going up slight grades. I've only seen this truck drop to 7th once. Typically 8th gear will do it, which is an overdrive gear, but I've seen it drop to 7th once. Now, going up that Ingramsport hill today, it is definitely going to drop to 7th. There's no way around it. We're going to lose some speed on that hill. But you can see she's still hooked up back there. And it's driving really nice. It's driving really smooth. It does have that small little tug, but it's really stable. It's not light in the rear at all, or heavy in the rear, I guess. I probably could move the machine back a little bit further even. And I'll probably try that on the way home just to see how it feels and see if it takes a little bit of that tug away. But man, I tell you, this is enjoyable. You think about how much weight's behind that truck right now with the trailer and the load, and this thing just goes about its thing. Like, the shifts are so smooth. if this had the Cummins engine brake, it would be the absolute ultimate tow vehicle. Everything except for that, it is. Sorry Ram guys, but this blows away the Ram 3500. The wide track front axle, the bigger brakes, the commercial grade tires, the extra power, the 10-speed, blows the Ram 3500 right out of the water in every aspect except for the exhaust brake, engine brake. But the transmission does a good job of holding it back, especially with adaptive cruise control. It runs your brakes on your trailer as well, so you know, I'm in cruise control right now, just sitting back enjoying things. Like, this is good, but we'll see how it does on that hill. That's the test. Hitting those overpasses, very calm and composed. You could see that in my voice. I was talking through it, no jarring, just enjoyable. Well, I think that the Ingramsport Hill at the very bottom of it has construction going on the bridge. So in case that is the case still, I'm going to show you guys this grade coming up here. So first we're going down and then we're going right back up. It's funny, the first section on this trip, a lot of it is flat highway, but the second that you get to exit 9 on the 103, that all goes away and it's just all like this. So we just dropped to 8th gear. We're going down the hill. My engine brake is on, down to 7th. See, it's like 3,000 RPM. And then we're gonna be going right back up this grade right here. So hopefully it doesn't jump up to like 9th or 10th gear. Okay, we're in 8th. No, why? Okay, it went to 9th. It's gonna have to drop to 8th, I know it. It's still pulling it at 9th right now though. Well, damn. I think 9th gear might do it. Still in 9th. Okay, well, that just proved me wrong. If you guys can see in the mirror the hill there. 9th gear. All right. I did not expect that. The second that it dropped to, second that it jumped up to 9th, I thought that was it. It would have to drop down to 8th for sure. But no, it proved me wrong. Pulled it in 9th. So up here is Ingramsport Hill, and yeah, the signs are still up. So I gotta slow down to 80, maybe even more. They're down to 1 lane going across this bridge, and then at the that's the very bottom of this hill. And then after that, she's just a long, hard pull. 6 to 7%. Yeah. All right, well, I'll still get it on camera. We'll see how this thing does. It's not gonna have a good head start, that's for sure. All right, so there is the hill. And here we gotta slow down. Those brakes are unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. So we're down to 5th right now, just because I want to be going nice and slow across this. I don't need any drama. There's guys working. Okay. Once I get through here though, I'm gonna give it some juice. Okay, well, I'm gonna set my cruise and just let the truck do its thing. I'm gonna set my cruise up to 105 kilometers an hour. So we are in 7th right now. That's what I mean. So we're started off at 80. Normally we'd be going like 110 coming down there and have a heck of a lot better start, but we are actually gaining speed. Still in 7th. Right here is the worst part. The fans are definitely going to kick on when I get towards the top of this hill to cool this beast down. 7th, 1-to-1 gear. We're almost 100 kilometers an hour, and we started off at 80. My 550, and that's with, you know, hitting the hill, hitting the bridge down there like 110. My 550 is lucky to do 70 coming up this hill. This truck, there's the fans. This truck had a huge disadvantage to start out with, and it didn't even make it down to 90. And now we're speeding up very quickly. I definitely need to get a gauge set up in this truck to see what my temperatures are at. Trans temp is 99 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, but trans temp runs hot in these things anyway. So don't look into that too much, to be honest. Engine information. Where's my... Yeah, where the hell's my engine temp? Anyway, so impressed with this truck. So impressed. Holy, she's a warm one. All right, well, we've been here for 3 or 4 hours now. Finished off this job for this stage of the project. I'll show you guys it for a second, but man, that truck and trailer combo, oh, awesome. That's the way to go for sure. And this machine, honestly, man, for doing this stuff, it's so stable, it's so powerful. The only downfall is I wish it had another 2 feet of reach. Would be nice. The jib boom is too short. It could use to be longer. But anyway, the other day we did this side, grubbed it off, threw it in a pile. Then I came back with I put the mulcher on the 080, mulched this corner. He just marked a bunch of trees. We cleaned up a bunch more trees and cut 5 feet further that way. And then I ripped all the stumps out. So all these grubbins are from this side here. He's gonna need to bring in some serious amount of fill because he's got a layer of peat moss on top basically, and then boulders. It's all boulders in here. It's really low. You can see the guy next door, he's up about 4 feet higher than what this is right here. So he needs some fill, that's for sure. I got a dog saying hi to me. But that's it for now for this one. He just wanted it cleared and then he can get his head wrapped around what's going on. So we got to bring some fill in here. There's some more work to do. It's gonna be fun trying to dig a foundation and this stuff. But get the excavator loaded back on and hit the road again and hit a few more big hills on the way home. I'll show you guys. All right, chain down and ready to go again. I think I am back a bit further this time. I think this was my mark, and I think so. I think that's my mark from today, earlier. I think this was from the 080 the other day, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, we're looking pretty good. I think I am back a bit further. We got the boom going forward. Tons of deck space here. It felt really good coming down, but we'll see how it feels going back. This thing just cruises down the road in 10th gear like nothing's behind it. It's unbelievable. Like, no one really passes me because I don't really slow down, like hardly at all. So we got a grade here right now. We'll see if it drops. I just pulled a couple similar grades and it held it in 10th, but I think it's gonna drop here to 8th. Yeah, down to 8th. So that one it did. The last couple ones weren't quite this steep, and it just pulled it in 10th. Like you can feel the torque. Like it's pretty neat. You can actually feel the torque, like it digging in, turbo and the turbo working. But there it did drop down to 8th there. But that was that's a decent little grade there. It feels good. It's not swaying at all. It doesn't feel light. My back end, I say light, but really it's heavy, but it's not loose back there, I guess is the word. It's not loose, so the positioning is pretty good. I do feel like it is doing that little tug thing a bit more than what it was on the way here. So I'm gonna try one more trip next time with it even a bit further back on the trailer to see if it helps that tug or if it makes it worse. If it makes it worse, then obviously I got to come forward a little bit. But the other day when I hauled my 080, I had it, you know, quite a ways forward, and it was doing it, honestly, probably worse than what this is right now. So I'll give it one more try with moving it back a little bit further and see what it does. And if that doesn't do it, then I'll bring it back forward again. Really, theoretically, if you further you put it back, you should feel a bit more tugging than if it's forward. But we will have to wait and see. I will try it one more time, but I'm gonna show you guys a couple more pulls on grades on the way home, and then that's it. Hopefully it's uneventful, just like the drive here was. All right, so going downhill is one thing, or going uphill is one thing. Going downhill is another. So here we are, we're going down Ingramford Hill now, and let's just see what the truck does. It just dropped down to 8th. We're not gaining any speed. 7th. And honestly, with the brakes on this trailer, I don't think we'll gain any speed at all, because adaptive cruise control does use your brakes. So 7th gear, we're not going to gain any speed. No. All right, so we got one big hill climb left to go, and then that is it. We've got about 300 kilometers on the clock so far. It was 33 degrees here a second ago. It says 31 now. With the humidity, it's like 38. So it's extremely hot day, and this truck is working extremely hard. It's a hell of a test, but man, this thing is passing it with flying colors right now. We just came up that hill doing 110. Didn't even notice it. Didn't even notice it. There you go, it's 33 degrees again. Okay, here she is. The last big one. This is actually the biggest one where the truck had a fighting chance. And I'm gonna drop it to 9th because it will try to hold 10th too long. So I just dropped it to 9th. We'll see what happens here. It's gonna hit 8th for sure. Maybe 7th. There, 8th. We're at about 100. We're into the hill for sure now. This is the steepest part right here. Starting to lose a little more speed. She got to drop to 7th. I think she will. Oh, maybe not. 90 kilometers an hour. Nope, she's not gonna drop. The ocean's way out there. Now we're speeding up. Put her back up to 10th here. And we're up the hill. Down the hill. Welcome to the 103. 9th gear. Alright, that is the last pull. Alright guys, so here we are. We made it back safe and sound. That was very impressive. Truck and trailer combination, top notch. I can't wait to use this thing more and more and more and more. The truck, awesome. Trailer, awesome. Those brakes, oh wow, and the power in this thing, just the way it is now. I can't wait to have a little bit of fun with it and see what else I can get out of it. Emissions on. But anyway, yeah, it did phenomenal. That's the heaviest load I've hauled with that trailer so far. I think probably the 8-ton with the mulcher on there, because the mulcher is 1,200 pounds. It's getting pretty close to the weight of the Sandy, because it honestly doesn't even feel like hardly any different at all, to be honest. But they both feel great. The airbags, I started off with 80 pounds in, and I ended up taking it down to 70, and they were not squished at all. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Tomorrow I think I'm hooking up on stake wall. I think I'm taking the trailer again and going to get my buddy's wharf, which is gonna be a very, very interesting day. It's a tough spot to get into. His spot is almost impossible to get into with a 35-foot trailer. And then we got to figure out how to get it in the water, and it's massive. It's a huge dock. It's like 18 by 10 or something stupid like that, with a big ramp. Anyway, I might record it just so you guys can laugh at me. But anyway, yeah, you all know what to do. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you then. Bye.